Hey, what's up you all? Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be talking about ticker symbol CTRM, CASTOR Maritime Inc. I got a lot of questions from the viewers and subscribers why the stock is up. I want to share one of the big announcement that came out from CTRM and what they're up to. So one of the big news, we'll cover why $1.01 is pretty important for CASTOR Maritime in general. So we'll do a lot of analysis about what's going on with CASTOR Maritime in terms of the price point, in terms of the RSI, in terms of the MACD. So we'll do a very high level technical analysis. I'll share one of the big announcements that came out at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time that is helping fuel the stock while the Nasdaq is down. The market is more or less sideways. The stock is trading in a pretty narrow range from 95 cents, 96 cents to $1.01. As you can see right here, the stock is up 2.13% or 2 cents in today's trading session, while the market is mostly sideways. There's a little bit of a volatility in the market in general, given that there's a stimulus package of $1.9 trillion that has been passed, and people will get $1,400, and that may fuel the economy in general, the stock market as well. CASTOR Maritime is one of the great highly talked stock in social media, so we'll want to also consider that. One of the big news that came up this morning, so we'll do three things in this video. The first one is why the stock is up, what is the big announcement, as you can see on my screen, what's going on with the company. The second thing is we'll do price prediction and a little bit of a review as to where the price can go and why $1 price is pretty important. So this announcement came this morning, new vessel acquisition. The company announced a new vessel acquisition and the delivery of Wonder Polaris. Now what this means is the company announced they enter into an agreement with the separate wholly owned subsidiary for a purchase of 2011 dry bulk carrier from an unaffiliated third party for a purchase price of $16.85 million. Now this acquisition is expected to take place, the delivery of the dry bulk vessel, sometimes between the second quarter and the third quarter, subject to the satisfaction of certain customary closing condition. And this is a big plus because this will add a minimum gross daily revenue for the hire of $15,000. Now, what this company does is CASTOR Maritime is a dry bulk shipping company. They're a high growth oriented global shipping company that is engaged in a seaborne transportation of a wide variety of bulk commodities. And they are shipping through the routes through their ownership of dry bulk vessels. So more vessels they buy, more revenue and more profitability. Now, how the company buys these vessels is they raise more capital, and it's a traditionally shipping company. So there is it's not an exponential growth the way we see in some of the technology stock or any other innovative stock. It's a traditional shipping company. So they buy more, they raise more capital, buy more vessel, more profit to the company. So whenever they announce, I've seen historically, and we have been reviewing this stock for a long time, and many of us, including myself, we bought this stock when it was 30 cents level, and since then there is a great ride for the stock price, and there is a huge volume in my opinion as well. So whenever they announce this vessel acquisition, whenever they announce the possession of the vessel, or they announced this actually a couple of days back that I also want to share, CASTOR Maritime announces the vessel acquisition. Now what this means is they're taking the possession of this 2010 vessel, dry bulk vessel, and the purchase price is $15.45 million, and this came on March 10th, as you can see right here. So these are pretty new news, pretty latest news, and this news sort of adds more fuel into the stock price. It adds more faith into the company, and investors are more interested in buying this kind of stock where they're adding more revenue, more potential profitability, and better future for the company. Now, looking at one more thing as to why this $1 and above $1 price point is pretty important for CASTOR Maritime, and this is a pretty important price. As you can see, Nasdaq is still down 0.85%, and S&P is down 0.12%. CASTOR Maritime is high to 2% in today's trading session, and I see a pretty healthy volume. We still have almost 3 hours more to go, 2.5 hours more to go, and it is already at 50 million volume for the trading session. And I do not see kind of a barcoding pattern just right here. So it does seem like it's a natural trading that is happening at the moment. Looking at one more thing, their volume is pretty sustained around 90 million. It was a little bit low yesterday, but the stock did touch $1 level. It was not able to close at $1 level. So there's a huge resistance for the stock to go above $1 level at this price point. Looking further into the extension that they have at the moment. So they've received 180-day extension from Nasdaq to meet the minimum price bid rule requirement. What that means is the stock needs to be at or above $1 level for the consecutive 10 business days. Now, if you take a look right here, the stock was consistently about $1, closed above $1 level starting from February 9th up until February 25th. But we did not have the official confirmation that it has regained the compliance because of some other discretion that the Nasdaq has on their own. So my assumption is until we get the official announcement, we should still consider that the stock needs to stay above $1 level before it regains the compliance. And I also checked Nasdaq's listing center, and I do see CTRM ticker symbol within the non-compliant stock. So that's one of the things. I just wanted to share my due diligence. I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence and research before you buy or sell CTRM or any other stock. It's a penny stock. It's a riskier investment, high risk, high reward. You can make a ton of money in a short period of time, and we have seen that 3 or 4 times growth on our investment if you bought this around 30 cents price point. Now, looking at this, it is not super serious just yet because the company has time up until June 20th, 2021, and the company can cure the deficiency, as I just mentioned, to if the common shares are traded at or above $1 level, at least for 10 consecutive business day, considering the closing price, and they'll be within the compliance of the Nasdaq that they need. Now, looking at the stock, once again, let's take a look. Now, their RSI looks pretty okay, 54, and their MACD, according to me, looks pretty fine as well. The blue is below the orange. Orange is the indicator or the signal, and blue is MACD. Pretty close. I mean, there could be a little bit of difference, but that's okay for this area right here. Take a look. When the volume goes higher, the blue line the blue line goes above the orange, which helps the stock price to go up, as you can see right here. And once again, this was a 39.50 cents price point. It went here. Once again, higher volume, MACD is above, the blue line is above the orange, and the stock ramped up right here. The spiked up pretty quickly. Now, looking at the stock price just for today, and let's take a deeper look into how the stock has been trading. And once again, it's not a barcoding pattern, something I like to see. If you take a look at the RSI, it was pretty high when the stock was $1.01, suggests an overbought condition, and the stock will go a little bit down because the RSI is pretty high. It was pretty high at this point, close to 83, and 83 to me is about the other line, about the ceiling that I usually think. It might not be super healthy for stock. It can stay there. By the way, now looking at $1 price point right here, $1.01. Quite honestly, the RSI is 56. Now it is or 60 right now. It's a real time, so it changes pretty quickly. But as you can see, 60 RSI is pretty healthy RSI in my opinion. For one day, MACD, the blue line, is above the orange, at least at the moment. That suggests that the stock has a lot more fuel if it wants to go in the positive direction. Now, we should not probably consider this is 1 minute chart. It's just a line chart. It still looks pretty good. There is a pretty good distance if you see between the blue and the orange. It suggests that at least for today's trading session, the stock has enough fuel to stay above $1 level. At least at this point, we'll see how that works out. But I want to see more of the volume. If you see the green right here, there is not enough volume in my opinion, especially for CTRM that it used to have back in the days when it was widely talked on social media. It is still talked pretty widely in the investment community, but we need to see more volume. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart, and it'll give us a little bit more idea as to what the RSI looks like. If you take a look right here, the RSI is 66. The MACD looks pretty okay to me. The blue is slightly above the orange, which is a good sign. Now look at here. This is a $1 price point, and the stock has a pretty good resistance to go above $1 and just stay there. Now it needs a lot more fuel, as I just mentioned. Positive news always helps CTRM. More volume always helps CTRM, as I have seen, not all the time, but mostly it helps CTRM. Now, if the volume sustains right here at this price point, I believe the stock can go back to $1.04 level. And it was there somewhere here. And it was a little bit comfortable for a few minutes, few hours, I want to say, but it got back. So I think $1 price point, once again going back, it's a pretty important price point. I just wanted to share quickly an update, some of the big news that is coming up for CTRM, or that came this morning. If you are wondering why the stock is up, which is why the stock is up because of this couple of announcements. The announcement day before yesterday, as I just mentioned, also added a lot more interest into the stock price. Once again, below $1 level, it's a $1, it's a penny stock. Highly risky. I'm not a financial advisor, but do click the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel. Your help and support is very much appreciated in the growth of this channel. Thanks all for watching. I'll see you next time.